Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, it's going to be a Q&A video. I'm going to answer your questions that you submitted on my Instagram. And we have a special guest. His name is Scooter. It's my new foster cat. Hello. He's so sweet. I'm going to separate questions by topic and there was a lot of modeling related questions, so I'm gonna start there. The first question is, how did you get into modeling? I have a video about this. It's a very long video. It's one of my first videos on YouTube ever. I started modeling back home in Brazil when I was 17. I didn't plan to be a model. I was at the end of high school and I was planning to go to college and everything, but I've always had people tell me
you should be a model.
There is a scouter person in Brazil. He's actually super well known. He helped scout Giselle and Alessandro Ambrosio, and he organizes scouting events across the country, and he was coming to my city. I decided to give it a try and I went to see him. I got selected for the second phase, which was to go to São Paulo and meet the agencies, and then I decided to move along with that plan. Went to São Paulo, met so many agencies, and then I got signed with my mother agency, which is I'm still with. They're basically a scouter, so they only handle the contacts and the connection between me and the agencies around the world. Got signed with them, did my first book in São Paulo. I was still in the last year of high school. My parents wanted me to finish school before I started pursuing my modeling career. And yeah, so I think I finished high school, graduated, and then I got an offer from an agency in China. Yeah, this was 2010 and 2011. In March of 2011, I left Brazil and I went to China to be a model, and then the rest is you can go watch my other video. But I spent a lot of time in Asia. I was there for 3 years, going to different countries for 3 to 4 months, and then I went to Milan for a little bit, and then finally the US, and I stayed here. And I plan on being here forever. A lot of people ask me how it is to be a model these days, and I think today things are so much different. I don't know any scouting events that happen around the country anymore. I know that the process is a lot more, I guess, virtual in a way. You were able to apply to an agency online on the website. So yeah, very different process right now. And then another question I got, what do you plan to do when you're too old to be a model? I love this question. I'm sure every person wonders. I actually already was thinking about this back like 6 years ago. I knew that I wanted to go to college. I went to FIT and I got my degree there in fashion business management. I've always been super curious about the business side of fashion and retail, and I've always wanted to try going into buying. So yeah, now I have a full-time job as a buyer, as an assistant buyer at Macy's, and I love. So I guess that's something I plan to do when I'm too old to be a model. Still modeling, I'm still a model. It's just not as full-time as it used to be. There's so many things you can do. There's also so many things that models can do after their modeling career. You don't have to go to college. You can just do a little coaching program if you want to be a coach, or you can start your own agency, or you can become a YouTuber, or you can go to a completely different field. There's so many things you can do. But yeah, for me now, I plan on staying in the fashion industry for a long time, I guess, I hope. So my third question is, you are so pretty, thank you. Tell me more about your modeling experience in Asia. So I was in Asia for 3 years, from 2011 until 2014. I went to so many countries there. I went to China, I lived in Japan, Thailand, South Korea, Indonesia, and every country there is different in terms of the modeling experience. In China, there's so many jobs there. I was working almost daily. China has a lot of e-commerce, catalogs, and commercial jobs. But then, for example, in Thailand, it's completely different. Jobs there are more spares. Is that a word? Yeah, that's a word. I don't know if you use it in this case, but yeah, basically jobs there happen less often than it did in China. I wasn't working every day there. Sometimes I wasn't working for like 2 weeks, and the jobs there are very commercial. There are a ton of commercials, TV commercials that are shot in Thailand. So I got so many of those type of jobs there, like video commercial for chocolate, for motorcycle, for orange juice. They pay really well. That's a totally different market too. And then yeah, that's Asia in a nutshell. Overall, I love Asia. I can't wait to go back there. Thailand was an incredible country with so much culture. The food is amazing. Indonesia was also a beautiful country that I lived. People are super nice and welcoming, and Asia is really like my home. I feel like I know Asia more than I know Brazil, because Brazil is huge and I haven't been to every place in Brazil yet, but I travel a lot in Asia and I'm very grateful for that opportunity, and I had such a good time there. This story is boring because he's falling asleep. Japan was a country that I went that I got 0 jobs. I think I had 1 job, so it was not really a market for me. I did not work at all, but still I had an amazing time when I was there, and I want to go back to visit as a tourist and not as a model. But yeah, when I was there, it didn't really work well in Japan, and my agency in Japan and I decided to part ways after a month because I wasn't really getting any jobs, and I had like this huge expense in my account because I flew all the way from Brazil to Japan, and they covered all my flights, all my expenses, my apartment, everything, and I wasn't working. We just didn't see a market fit for me there, and I left Japan and I went to China again. In Hong Kong. I spent a lot of time in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is a wild place. It might be one of my favorite places actually in the world. I worked well there. There's a ton of different types of jobs there. I did editorial shoots there. I did jewelry. It's a much bigger, more diverse market. I just had a blast there. The other question I got, it's my most popular modeling tips or hacks to look amazing photos. This is interesting, but I think that the more you think about things, the less natural you will be in front of a camera. My tip is to always be comfortable. Don't force it too much. I've discovered this like with years of experience. I learned what my best angles are, and I learned that by doing, and I also learned that by looking in front of the mirror and literally posing in front of the mirror so you can see your best angles. I know that this side of my face, it's more defined. This side of my face, my smile looks better. This is all like from my head, sort of. I discovered this by looking in the mirror and by looking at my photos from different angles, and okay, this is how I look better. I remember sometimes I will see people say something like, oh, you should put your legs in front of the other leg and then like bend your knees a little bit, and then put your hands on your waist, and then put your shoulder forward so you don't have like skin showing under your arm. No, like you look at those photos and they feel so unnatural and robotic. So my tip is to just be natural. Don't overthink it. This sounds cliche, but my best photos are the ones that were caught spontaneously in the moment. As a model, sometimes I did jobs where they literally wanted me to like don't stop, to keep moving and like do everything gracefully and naturally. So like if you are going to be moving in a photo, like make sure you're not like forcing your neck. Relax your muscles, relax your face, your lips. Hands are also very important. I have so many photos of me, especially in swimsuits, where my hands are just like kind of like claw hands, being graceful with the movements. Pretend that you're like a ballerina. See how I grab this water bottle? Like very graceful. And this is probably from experience and living in Thailand and doing so many commercials for drinks. Like I learned how to like grab gracefully. It does take time. Sometimes it's better to do less than more. Like you don't have to be dancing gracefully in every photo you take. Sometimes just like act natural. But that's also something that's really hard. I'm also like learning about my body movement and my body consciousness. Like I had a casting a couple of weeks ago where they wanted me to style my hair, and they wanted to see how well I handle the tool so it's not covering my face. So normally if I was doing at home, I would just do like the pop and then spray my face with like hairspray and do like horrible face. But like in camera you can't really do that. So yeah, be natural, but also be mindful and body conscious about the faces that you're doing. I feel like I just ramble about this, but I hope that helps. Okay, so now I have some other more personal questions, and one of the questions is, how did you meet Charlie? Charlie is my boyfriend. I met Charlie back in 2019 at a party. It was during around Fashion Week in September, and we were at the same party. So I met him there, but it was actually really late in the night, and I was kind of over it. My friends that I was with at the time noticed that there was this one person looking at me across the room, and it was Charlie, and I started looking back at him, and I thought he was cute, you know, he had a nice smile. So we just sort of like started slowly walking towards each other and started talking. But I was so tired, and I think he asked me like 2 questions, and I was like, I'm leaving. Bye. We exchanged contact information, and yeah, he messaged me after that, and we're still together. We had some up and downs on the way, but that's for another video. So another question is, do New York City models ever date nerds? You know, I can't speak for every New York City model, but I can speak for myself. Yes, we do date nerds, and I'm dating one right now. Charlie is the biggest nerd I know. And yeah, I mean, we date all kinds of people. I don't even know what to say to this question, but yes, we do date nerds. You know, it's a big world. It's a big city. New York City has like, what, 8 million people? I'm pretty sure there's a type for every New York City model person. The last question I'm going to answer, last but not least, this might be my favorite question actually, is what's your favorite daily perfume? Some people might know this about me, but I'm actually obsessed with perfumes and fragrances and smells. I love trying on different perfumes. I have a perfume for different occasions and different times of the year, but I narrowed it down to 3. So my favorite, absolute favorite daily perfume is the YSL Libre. I bought the full-size bottle of this perfume, and it's halfway through. I just love this perfume. It's so good. Like, everybody that tried this perfume like it. I think it's very easy to like this perfume. It's a very pleasant smell. It's strong, so during the day I would just do maybe 1 spray or 2 sprays. When it's winter though, I like to wear this one. It's a travel size. Again, I'm not gonna buy this full-size bottle of this perfume. 1, because it's expensive. 2, because I feel like I'm only really gonna do this one when it's winter. It's the Maison Margiela by the Fireplace perfume. This smells exactly like the name.
It's like a fireplace, vanilla,
marshmallow, whatever. Like, it's so good. It's very smoky and sweet at the same time, but like pleasant sweet and sophisticated sweet, not like candy sweet. I think it's a perfume that can be both for men and women, and I introduced this to my boyfriend, and now he has one. And then this is my perfume for special occasions. I don't wear this every day. This is the Parfum de Marly de Lina. I swear this has like such a unique smell. A friend of mine told me about this perfume so many times, and I wanted to try, and it was love at first sight. It's a little on the pricier side. This was a present. It's very rosy, but it's so sophisticated. It's the best perfume ever. Like, there's not a day that I wear this perfume that I don't get asked what I'm wearing. One day I went to Brazil, and I think I sprayed this before I got on the plane, and the person sitting next to me was a guy, and he's like, I want to buy this to my girlfriend, what is he? And he like wrote down his notes on his phone. Those are my favorite perfumes, and I'll see you guys in my next vlog. Thank you for watching, and thank you for not listening. Scooter, bye.